Why is it that guy moving? Hello, people. Tired, guys. I just came from work. I am so tired, and I was late because I had a very busy shift. Oh my gosh, I haven't sat down even a minute. My phone kept ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. I was like, oh gosh, when is it gonna stop? But I thank God that I was able to finish up my shift, and here I am driving home. It's now, let me see the time that I got from work, 8:42. So by the time I go to bed, it's gonna be at 10 because I have to go take a shower, eat breakfast, and then go to bed. Oh gosh, welcome guys to Charities Baba USA, your #1 channel. Sometimes I am yawning, sometimes I am not yawning, but I am very tired right now. But I'm gonna do a small round and just show you where I'm going. I'm gonna do a small video and still about DV Lottery, guys, because like I said, it's here. So are you ready? Are you ready for DV Lottery? I hope you are. So let's talk about, let me dive into family. But before I go there, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing. If you have subscribed, thank you for always supporting my channel. And excuse me for my yawning. I haven't slept for, oh gosh, since I went to work last night, but it's fine. So I want to talk about the African marriages as opposed to American marriages, and as opposed to our customs and the customs here. And I also want to talk about the differences and how it can affect your DV lottery. Now, here in America, let me start with here because this is where I live. It is illegal for a person to legally marry two wives. Very, very illegal. Like you're not allowed to marry two wives. Now that doesn't work here. You can only have one wife. I know that there are some men who are they just have many women out there because they can't help it. So they have many women with their kids. They call them baby mamas. It happens here, but they are not legally married to that person. But if the kids are there, the kids will claim their dad, and it's the responsibility of the parents to take care of those children. And regardless of the age, you are responsible, because all choices have consequences. So if you chose to have those kids, even if you had them when you were a teenager, you are required to take care of them. Now that's different, totally different. Now let's talk about the African way of marriage, because the African way of marriage is complex. I call it complex because you find that most men, they like to marry many wives. And there is nothing wrong with that. There are some women who are like they are built or they are created whereby they can accept to have a co-wife, which is, I normally don't like judging people's preferences, but my own preference is that I cannot stand that. So if, for example, just by a whim or hypothetically, my husband decided to marry another wife, capiche, we are done. I cannot agree to that. But that's not the point right now. The point is, if you have many wives, you have 3-4 wives, and you have kids, and all those wives, they claim you as their husband, because that happens in Africa. Someone can have 4 wives, they can have 2 wives, they can have as many wives as they want. And sometimes I wonder how those people are able to take care of all those women. And you know, women will always be women, and women, everybody likes to be be heard, or they like to be superior. So I don't know. It takes a very extraordinary man to marry so many wives. So let's link those marriages, polygamous marriages, with the DV lottery. So let's assume that you have, I'm going to give an example of 2 or 3 wives, or 4. And you have kids with those women, and you are applying for your DV lottery. So remember, the DV lottery only recognizes a husband and a wife. So as a man, among those women, you are to decide which one is your favorite. And then that is the one that you can apply with, because you cannot apply your DV lottery with and include 3 spouses or 4 or whatever. You cannot do that. That one is not allowed, guys. So I am talking to those families that are they are extended or whatever. So, but the children, they must be included. So even if you have 4 wives, you will decide on which one you are going to include on your DV lottery. But all the kids that have been married, that have your last name, whether they are your biological children, whether they are your adopted children, those kids must be included in the DV lottery. Do not leave them out, guys. Those ones have to be there. But the choice of having many wives, now that one you decide. Now, let's look at another kind of family whereby it's called a mixed family, whereby the woman came with her kids from a previous relationship, and the man came with kids from a previous relationship, and both of them had other kids. So we have these kids from the side of the lady, and these kids from the side of the guy, and then there's these kids that have been born by these 2 people who came together with other kids from other people, other relationships. That's a mixed marriage. Now you find that if they are legally married, these people who came together and they with different with kids from other relationships, and they are legally married, those ones they apply as married. But if they had been legally married to the other spouses before getting married into this relationship, then they must have a divorce. They have to be divorced for them to be able to be clean and enter into this relationship. So what are you going to be asked for in the DV lottery? If you had been married previously and you are in another marriage, you're going to have to give the marriage certificate, the divorce certificate of that previous spouse, if you have their children. If you had their children, because if the previous partner is involved in taking care of those kids, maybe you are co-parenting, then there is no way that you're gonna claim that this current husband is the one who is gonna be responsible for all that. Because if a parent is co-parenting, you're co-parenting, that other parent or that other partner has right to the kids to some extent, whereby they have to give permission for those kids to be able to travel out to come to the US. So you have to be very clear on that, guys. Now, let's assume you are single. You're a single dad or a single mom. You had been married, or you had not been married, or you just had a child and whatever. They will require you to have sole custody of your child. Like there is nobody else who is claiming that child, and there is nobody else who would like to be asked for permission to give permission for that child to be able to travel to America after they win the DV lottery, because the parent has to give the consent if that child is a minor. And by a minor, I'm talking about the kids who are below 18 years old. So guys, you have to have your everything on the table. If you have kids that you have adopted, if you have kids that you are that are from a previous marriage, and you are co-parenting with that previous partner, but you're married to a different person, you will have to have permission from that other spouse, so that from that other previous partner, so that you can be able to travel with your kids. But the bottom line is, you cannot exclude any of the children. If they are legally yours, if they are legally adopted to you, you cannot exclude them in the DV lottery. And I need you guys to get that one very, 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 very keenly. Do not go applying the DV lottery and leaving other kids and saying that you don't have them. What if they show up in the event? What if they show up when you're going for your interview? Or maybe they write, people write letters, or they make phone calls. Especially when they know that you have won the DV lottery and you had so many wives, and some of them were not included, and you did not include their children, they will call. Stories happen, the DV lottery brings out a lot of stories, So you don't want to be caught in such a situation. So put all your cards on the table. Honesty is the key. For me, I normally say it's good to be honest. And also, I know that every child who has been born needs to be claimed, or they need to have a seat in the dining table. Everybody must have a seat. Now, if you come to my house today, we have 4 kids. And if you come to our dining table, we have 6 chairs in our dining table. So everybody has their own spot, because everybody must have their own slot. So if you happen to have another one, of which we don't plan to, or maybe just but you can never know, then we would have to add another seat. So what I mean is that if you have these children, whether you left them from a previous relationship, or from the current relationship, or maybe you have a side chick and that child belongs to you, you must be able to include them in the DV lottery. Do not leave out children. But you're not able to include your many spouses or many, you're not able to include that. So I hope that is clear, because these are some of the things that challenge people, and people are like, oh, I won my DV lottery, or I applied with this person, and then someone called the embassy and I wasn't given the visa because of so and so and so. It's because you did not come clear in the beginning. And remember, like I tell you, whatever that you do the application and you win your DV lottery, you're going to fill out some paperwork called the DS-260. That DS-260 explains more about you, explains more about what you have been doing, explains more about your family, explains more about the work that you have been doing, explains more about where you went to school. So it gives more information about you and your family members. And remember that same DS-260 is going to stay there. You're going to travel with it, with all that information in a very tight sealed envelope. And when you go to apply for your citizenship, those documents will still be there. They will still refer to there. They will refer to there, and they will want to know, does it correspond to what you had filled out initially? So guys, you have to be able to include every other member of the family. So don't hide some of the kids. Or maybe, for example, you had kids and then you left them with your mom because the man that you were getting married to could not accept those kids, of which I wonder how those marriages work. I don't like criticizing people, but there is no way that I can leave my kids with my mother and go and get married to a man and live with him comfortably, knowing that that man does not accept my child. I cannot do that. Because the mom, a mother, that child, you are the one who made that child 100. Yes, a man was involved, but at the end of the day, that child grew from you. It's like you are the one who we watered the seed was planted by 2 people, but you are the one who watered the seed. You are the one who made the seed. It did not have any weeds around it. You are the one who went through all that pain. And then here comes this gentleman who tells you that they want to marry you, but they do not want to be your child. That doesn't work. I don't know how that one works. So you find that you want to fill out with the DV lottery and you left your kids with their grandmother, and you have other kids that you have had with this man and you want to leave those ones behind. You can't do that. You have to include all the kids, whether if they are legally yours or they're legally adopted, whether or not they live with you, you have to be able to include those kids. So I hope that is very, very clear, because I like talking about the things that that come out or they show up after someone has won the DV lottery. And these are things that have happened, because people reach out to me and they write me messages and they tell me, this is what happened, this is what happened, I was denied because of 1, 2, 3, 4, but you did not follow, or you were not honest at the beginning. So it's very, very important for you to be very, very, very honest at the beginning when you're applying for your DV lottery, so that you become successful, so that you become successful. This is a blind spot, so I am not able to go. I don't like going if I cannot see the other side, because that would be very risky. So I had to wait for that car to go. So guys, I hope that this video is going to be helpful, and I hope that you have enjoyed sightseeing. I like to show you around, so that you can taste the American life, living the dream. Oh gosh, sometimes I'm like, before I came to America, I was telling myself, oh, it's the land of milk and honey, like there is not much to be done. But I'm telling you, if you come to America, you will be the most hardworking person, like very hardworking. Like I normally work in the hospital 4 days a week, and sometimes I just sit in my house, and because I have another job, and then I'm like, I cannot stay for other 3 extra days without doing anything. So I sign up and I go to work. I just sign up. I'm like, let me just go 1 day and then rest for 2 days. So it's what can I say? It's important for you to know that when you come here, you're gonna work very hard, especially if you come with family. Remember that you're gonna start from it's like you are in high school. It's not like you're starting from nursery school. You're starting in high school, and you have all these responsibilities. You have kids, you have bills, you have all that. But all of it is achievable when you come here. So guys, all I can encourage you is to fill out the DV lottery. Fill it out. Reach out to your cousins, reach out to your family members, reach out to everyone. Because this is a free thing. It's not a thing that you're going to pay for. It's a free thing. Do the application, and after you win, then you will think about the next step after you have been selected. So guys, I wish you all the best, and I hope that this video helps someone. So I'm almost reaching home. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, don't forget the drill. Kindly consider subscribing. I will see you in another video. Thank you, and God bless you.